Hello everyone, I am Dr. Lalita, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, MLR Institute of Technology. In our BEEE course, in today's video, I am going to explain about independent and dependent sources. So before going to the independent and dependent sources, let us learn what is meant by a source. What is the purpose of source? So what is a source? So a source is a device which converts mechanical, chemical, thermal or some other form of energy into electrical energy. So as we are having different forms of energy, means energy can be available in various forms like chemical energy, potential energy, kinetic energy. So likewise various forms of energy will be available. So the conversion of various forms of energy into electrical energy will be taking place by the source. So source is a device which converts mechanical, chemical, thermal or some other form of energy into electrical energy. So in some other words, we can also say that a source is an active network element. So active network element means, as I had told you in the second video, active and passive elements. So what are active elements? So the elements which have the capability of giving the electrical energy, means which have the capability of supplying the electrical energy to any other electrical components like resistors or some other. So those components are called as active components, means the elements which have the capability of delivering the electrical energy are called as active elements. So likewise, so source is also doing the same thing. So source is an active network element which is used for generating the electrical energy. So the various types of sources which we are using in our electrical network are mainly two types. They are voltage source and current source. So what does a voltage source do, or what does a current source will do? What is a voltage and what is a current? So based upon that, the voltage source and current sources will do. What is a voltage? Voltage is nothing but a force which tends to produce current in the circuit. Means because of the force which is generated by the voltage, what will happen? All the electrons which are flowing in the conductor will be moved in the unidirectional manner. So then only we can able to find out the direction of the current in the circuit. Unless or until we had given the force, which is nothing but the voltage to the conductor, the flow of direction will not be same throughout the conductor. So the voltage plays a major role in the flow of current. So V is proportional to I in a conductor according to the Ohm's law. So what does this voltage will do? The voltage will produce voltage is nothing but a force which tends to produce a current in the circuit. Similarly, the voltage source is also having the forcing function of EMF, whereas the current source is having a forcing function of the current. Finally, the output is the flow of current in the circuit. Coming to the types of sources. So mainly types of sources are classified into voltage sources and current sources, as I had told you. So again, voltage sources are classified into ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. Similarly, current sources are classified into ideal current source and practical current source. Now let us see what is an ideal voltage source, what is practical voltage source, what is ideal current source and what is practical current source. So coming to the voltage source. So what is the voltage source? So a voltage source is a two-terminal device whose voltage at any instant of time is constant and is independent of the current drawn from it. So at any instant of the time, the voltage will be constant and it is independent of the current which is drawn from it. So such a voltage source is called as an ideal voltage source. Means simply, if we say in simple words, so how much amount of voltage source or how much amount of voltage which I am giving to the as an input, that much amount of voltage should come as an output for the ideal voltage source. For example, if I had taken voltage of 2 volts here, there is some other circuit here and finally there is a load here. So if you measure the load across this resistor, the load voltage should also be equals to 2 volts. So actually it should be like this. But practically what will happen? So whenever the current is flowing inside a conductor, what will happen? There will be some amount of resistance in the circuit. So because of that resistance, there will be some amount of voltage drop in the circuit. Means voltage drop means what? Reduction in the voltage. Reduction in the voltage. So if I am giving 2 volts here as an input, there will be a voltage drop across this conductor and there is a loss in voltage, and finally if it comes to the load, or if we measure the voltage across the load, it won't be equal to 2 volts here. But actually it should be equal to 2 volts because I was giving 2 volts here, but out should be 2 volts theoretically. But practically it is not equals to 2 volts. Why? Because there is always some amount of resistance in the circuit, and because of that resistance there will be some amount of voltage drop in the circuit. So that's why practically values are only considered while we are doing the problems. Theoretical values. Theoretical means actually I had given 2 volts, but if we consider 2 volts is getting output, then it is called as theoretical values. Those are called as ideal voltage sources. Ideal voltage sources means we have to consider that there are no losses in the circuit. Ideal. The circuit is ideal. There are no losses in the circuit. So whatever we are giving as an input to the voltage source, the output also should be same amount of voltage. Then it is called as an ideal voltage source. So this ideal voltage source is having zero internal resistance. As I had told you, nothing, no losses should be there in the circuit. If we consider like that, then only it is considered as an ideal voltage source. So in ideal voltage source, we will assume that no losses are present. So no voltage drop is also present in the circuit. But actually, if we are doing the experiment practically, it won't be possible. So practically an ideal voltage source cannot be obtained. Practical voltage sources will only be there which is having the resistance value. Means resistance means here there will be a voltage drop in the circuit, whether they had mentioned resistance or not in the main circuit. Internal resistance will be there for any conductor, so that there will be some amount of voltage drop in the circuit. So here I had shown you two types of sources. So in some cases we will show like this, in some cases we will show like this. So then what is the difference in between this source and this source? Means one is ideal source and another one is practical source. So what is an ideal source? So if the sources are like this, which are round in shape, which indicates that is an ideal voltage source. Means in the question they had mentioned us that is an ideal voltage source. Means whatever I was giving as an input, output also will get the same amount of voltage. If we assume like that, then only it is called as an ideal voltage source. But as I had told you before, ideal voltage sources will not exist. Practically, if we do some experiment, there will always be some amount of losses in the circuit due to the resistance values. So because of that, the voltage source, after considering the losses, means practical voltage source, the voltage source will be shown with this symbol. That's why in majority of your circuits, the voltage source will be represented like this only, because practically always there will be some amount of resistance in the circuit. Due to that, there will be some amount of voltage drop in the circuit. So this is a symbol for the ideal voltage source. This is the symbol for the practical voltage source. Similarly, if we consider the characteristics of an ideal voltage source. So this is the ideal voltage source, right? So VAB means voltage across the terminals A and B. So if I draw the graph, VI characteristics, voltage in the current, so voltage VAB and current in hours or time in hours. So if we consider the graph like this, so see here, means how much amount of voltage I am applying. If current or time, whatever we may consider, the line will be like this. Means the value of voltage, what I am giving, the value of voltage I will get as an output in ideal voltage source. Coming to the practical voltage sources. So in practical voltage sources, as I told you, there will be some amount of resistance in the circuit. There will be some amount of resistance in the circuit. So for the same ideal source which I had considered before, so there will be some amount of resistance in the circuit. So because of this resistance, there will be some amount of voltage drop in the circuit. So if we see the characteristics here, so in the previous one, like this, the circuit had came. But now, here the values are decreasing. Why? Because this difference came due to the voltage drop. Voltage drop. Okay. So this is the difference in between ideal and the practical voltage sources. So examples of the voltage sources are batteries and alternators. Coming to the current sources, as I had told you, sources are classified into two types. They are voltage sources and current sources. So now in the voltage sources, we had known about the voltage, practical voltage source and the ideal voltage source. Now we'll see about the current sources. In current sources also, practical current sources will be there and ideal current sources will be there. So similar to that of the voltage sources, ideal current source will also be there and practical current source will be there. So the current sources are classified into ideal and practical current sources. So an ideal current source is a two-terminal circuit which supplies the same current to the any load resistance connected across its terminals. So it is very important to keep in the mind that the current supplied by the current source is independent of the voltage across the terminals. Independent of the voltage across the terminals, and also it have the infinite resistance. So see here, the amount of current which I am sending, the same amount of current should be seen under the or seen across the load. The same amount of current should flow in the load. Okay, that is the ideal current source. What is meant practical current source? A practical current source is represented as an ideal current source which is connected by resistance in parallel. Resistance in parallel. So whatever it may be, we will use a conductor to join from the source to load. So while we are using the conductor to join from the source to load, conductor is nothing but a metal, so that there will be a flow of electrons and opposition will take place and the resistance will be there in the circuit. But the thing is that for the voltage source, the resistance will always be connected in series with the circuit, and in the current source, the resistance will always be connected in parallel with the circuit. You have to remember this point. Voltage source is always connected in series with the circuit and the current source is always connected in parallel with the circuit. So these are the characteristics of the ideal current source and the practical current source. See, this is the symbol of the current source. This is the symbol of the current source. Here the arrow mark is there. Na? So this arrow mark represents the direction of the current in the circuit. So in some cases it is represented like this, so that the flow of current should be taken like this. And in some cases it is represented like this. Okay. So in some cases it is represented in this way. In some cases it is represented in this way. So current sources, in current sources, arrow mark indicates the direction of the current in the circuit. So this is the ideal current source. So for ideal current source, as we discussed before, if we draw the graph for I and V, the value will be come like this. Means we'll consider that no losses are there in the circuit. Means how much amount of current I am giving, the same amount of current will be drawn by the load. Means it will be exist, same amount of current will exist on the load. But in the case of the practical ones, see here, the resistance is in parallel with the current source. So what will happen here? There will be some amount of voltage drop. So due to that amount of voltage drop, see here there is a deviation from the original characteristics. So the examples of these current sources are photoelectric cells, the collector currents of the transistors. So these are the main applications of the voltage sources and current sources. So whatever the experiment we are doing in the laboratories or whatever the connections we are giving in the circuits, everything, the voltage sources and current source plays a major role. So unless or until we know about the voltage sources and current sources, we can't able to know about the complete knowledge of the circuit. So having the knowledge on voltage sources and current sources is very much important. Thank you.